Hello dear friends, welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars. Today we're diving into a moment that seized the attention of Turkish media and sent fan communities into a frenzy. After months of whispers about her private life and her rumored bond with Barış Arduç, Elçin Sangu finally stepped into the spotlight and spoke. For so long, her silence had been the story, every quiet smile turned into a headline, every absence woven into elaborate theories. But this time, the hush that had surrounded her met its match in the most unpredictable arena, the echoing halls of an international airport. The scene unfolded like a movie, almost too cinematic to be real. A normally measured terminal erupted into chaos as photographers and reporters surged from every corner. Flashbulbs burst like small fireworks, microphones stretched toward her like grasping hands, and voices rose in overlapping waves of questions. Through it all, Elçin moved with that unmistakable grace fans have adored for years, calm steps, a steady posture, a presence both grounded and luminous. She wore simple elegance, something effortless and unpretentious, the kind of style that whispers rather than shouts. Yet if you looked closely, you could sense the tension she concealed beneath a careful, practiced smile. For months, social media had been obsessed with one theory that refused to die. That behind closed doors, away from red carpets and premieres, there had been a secret ceremony, a promise made between Elçin and Barış. Every solo sighting was treated like a clue, every caption dissected for hidden meaning. Fans remembered their on-screen chemistry, the way their names seemed to rhyme in public memory, and they let their imaginations fill in the blanks. Speculation became the soundtrack of the season. And then, suddenly, there she was. No filtered post, no edited statement, just a woman on a busy day, walking straight into the blaze of questions she had eluded for so long. The question that cut through the commotion was as blunt as it was inevitable. "Elçin, is it true you married Barış Arduç?" The crowd seemed to hold its breath, half expecting her usual restraint, the polite nod, the graceful pivot. But instead, she paused. It wasn't dramatic, no raised chin, no hard glare. Just a pause. A breath. A softening of the eyes as if she were summoning the exact words she wanted to let the world hear. When she spoke, her voice was even, calm, and unmistakably deliberate. She did not give the full confession some wanted, nor the outright denial others hoped for. She offered something else, control. "I stayed quiet for a long time," she said, the hint of a smile curving like a boundary rather than an invitation. "People built their own stories. At the very least, I can tell you this. Nothing in my life is shared without my consent." The sentence landed like a carefully placed stone, light enough to drift, heavy enough to ripple everything. In a single breath, she recognized the rumors while refusing to be defined by them. She pointed toward exaggerations without calling anyone out. Most importantly, she reminded everyone that whatever truth exists will emerge on her terms, not on the timeline of curiosity. Was it a confirmation wrapped in poetry? A calculated dodge? Or a declaration of independence from the relentless appetite of gossip? The terminal hummed with interpretations. Reporters tossed follow-ups above the crowd like confetti. "Are you and Barış still together? Are you traveling abroad together? Are we going to see a ring?" She listened, unhurried, and you could feel the atmosphere bend toward her tempo. "I know everyone is very curious," she added, her tone still warm, still measured. "But sometimes it's better to let things develop naturally. My heart and my life are in a very good place right now. You'll see the rest soon." That single line cracked open the day's narrative and let possibility rush in. She gave them a feeling, contentment, anticipation, without surrendering a detail that could be weaponized or misread. That's the gift of a seasoned public figure, to share just enough light to warm a room without burning away the privacy she's worked so hard to protect. Within minutes, timelines were ablaze. Hashtags surged across the platforms, hashtag Elçin spoke and hashtag airport surprise climbed with breathtaking speed. Fans rewatched clips like detectives studying a frame, the way she tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, the glimmer in her voice on the word consent, the evenness of her breathing when the questions turned personal. As always, the smallest gestures became the loudest messages. What made the moment so striking wasn't simply that Elçin spoke, it was how she did it. She didn't stumble from silence into confession, she stepped from silence into strategy. For months she had used quiet as a shield, allowing chatter to blow past her like wind around a fortress. Today the fortress opened a small, precise window. The view wasn't of a ceremony or a certificate, but of sovereignty. She showed that she, and only she, holds the pen to her own narrative. That, more than any glittering headline, was the story. And then there was Barış. Not physically at the terminal, but present in the conversation like an unseen gravity. Recently, when pressed about his private life, he offered a simple sentence that echoed now like a companion piece to Elçin's words: "I don't want to talk about my private life, but I am happy." On its own, it had been a quiet note, almost throwaway. But in the context of today's airport moment, the two statements sat together like matching bookends. Neither confirmed. Neither denied. Both radiated a shared calm, as if two people had arrived at the same conclusion, that happiness thrives best when it isn't paraded, that intimacy is a flame sheltered by cupped hands. Insiders, those perpetual shadows who know enough to hint but not enough to be definitive, have suggested that Elçin is on the edge of significant shifts, personally and professionally. Not a scandal, not a rupture, but a season of intentional choices. A new project positioned to stretch her craft. A private life tended with the care given to a rare garden. If that's true, then her timing today wasn't an accident. It was choreography. She spoke when the noise grew too loud to ignore, yet not so loud that it drowned her voice. She chose her words like a curator chooses the first piece in a new exhibit, setting a tone that invites curiosity while preserving wonder. If the airport was only a travel stop, the story would have ended in baggage claim. But the moment felt larger, almost symbolic. Airports are thresholds, people arrive transformed, depart dreaming. In that liminal space, where arrivals blur into departures and everything is in motion, Elçin seemed to open a new chapter with a measured turn of the page. Whether the chapter includes rings and vows is a detail the public may not deserve on demand. What the public does deserve, and received, was clarity about boundaries. She will share what she chooses, when she chooses, and that, in a culture of instant answers, is its own kind of revolution. Of course, mystery breeds theories the way summer breeds storms. Was today a quiet confirmation in disguise? A deftly executed redirection, designed to cool speculation while something tender grows away from the spotlight? Or a controlled reveal, a prologue to a more explicit announcement when both are ready? The beauty and the frustration for those who crave finality is that all three can be true at once? What's indisputable is the shift in power. After letting noise fill the room for months, Elçin spoke into it, and her words rearranged the furniture. You could feel the recalibration across media. Commentators called it a masterclass in modern celebrity. Fans celebrated her poise. Even cynics had to admit that turning speculation into strategy requires uncommon composure. The message carried far beyond the terminal. In an age where everyone is expected to share everything immediately, withholding can be an act of courage. And when you do choose to speak, doing so with intention can hit louder than any impulsive confession. Today, Elçin didn't feed the fire, she adjusted the flame. So where does that leave us? In a familiar yet electric place, the edge of revelation. The story hasn't concluded, it has simply become more interesting. Maybe we'll see them together at a premiere that makes the internet stop. Maybe we'll catch a hand on a shoulder, a glance that says more than a press release. Or maybe we'll see nothing at all but the results of two people protecting the best parts of themselves from a world that can be careless with beautiful things. Whatever comes, it will arrive when they decide, not when we demand. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We want to hear your take. Did Elçin all but confirm a secret wedding with her careful phrasing, or did she pull off a brilliant misdirection worthy of a standing ovation? Is this a steady unveiling, a moment of boundary setting, or both at once? Share your thoughts in the comments and keep the conversation alive. And if you crave every heartbeat from the Turkish entertainment world, make sure you subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars, tap like, and ring that bell so you never miss a turn in this unfolding tale. Stay with Whispers of Turkish Stars, we're always where the story takes its next breath.